Here we have an iPhone 6s that came in for repair. No power. Let's read what the customer wrote. Description: iPhone was on and working and plugged into the entertainment center of Tahoe SUV. Shut off without warning. Does not draw any power from USB port. Tried removing battery connection. No change. So the phone was working, but when it was plugged into the entertainment center of a vehicle, it stopped working. Does not draw any power. And tried removing battery connection. No change. Now I do have power plugged into the motherboard, and we do see the 0 amps are being drawn by that board. If we try to turn the motherboard on, nothing. 0. We have both the battery and charging connector connected via this tool, and nothing. Turn on, nothing. Now what the customer failed to mention is there was a prior repair attempt on this board. That's what the customer failed to mention. That tiny, minute detail. The back cover has been removed, and the TriStar chip was replaced. Just a tiny little detail the customer forgot to mention. He tried removing the battery, but no change. But nothing mentioned about the TriStar chip. That's why you cannot always go by what the customer tells you. Now, we do not know if the customer knew about this or did not know about this. So we're not going to 100% blame it on him. Or maybe the phone was like that before when he bought it. I don't know. Possible. Now, if we check the board, let's do visual inspection on the board. We do see some signs of corrosion on the top here and a red sticker. So maybe the board suffered a tiny bit of liquid. I do not want to waste a lot of time on this board before I go over the TriStar chip first, because maybe the TriStar chip was not soldered on properly, and that's why the phone is not drawing any amps. Now Big Boss attempted to power this board on using a charged battery, and the board did not power on. So we do see a tiny chip on this IC. Chip on this chip. And other than this, nothing stands out as being faulty. Thank you. So let's go ahead and replace the TriStar chip and see if that will solve our problem. And Big Boss just opened a package and he gave me this. Somebody sent a $20 bill. Let's read what the customer wrote. So this is for an Xbox One X. I sent it out to get Retimer chip put in, and they said it still didn't work. I noticed a small component missing, and I tried to put it in, and there was no way that was happening. You can laugh. I hope you can fix it. Get some coffee for you guys. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for the $20 tips. We'll get some coffee. I appreciate it. Your hopes are all the way up there, so it's probably a 50-50 chance. We'll see. So let's start by replacing the Retimer chip. Retimer chip. Let's start by replacing the TriStar chip. Right, and right now, in case you're wondering, because people always ask, I'm using the tool from Best. It's a 6-piece tool. You can find it on our site. That's only one piece, double heads, and they come in 6 pieces. A lot of different heads for different jobs. One of them has a bent tip like this and a hook, and this one has a pointy edge. And we have this one. I never made use of this one yet. And this one has the one that we just used. And this one is like this. And now let's start by removing the chip. Apply just a tiny bit of flux because it helps with the flow of solder. And let's do it. Out. All right, and the missing pad that you see is a no connect. Anytime you have a no connect, the pad is just hanging by a thread, by tiny amount of glue or adhesive, and it comes off easy. We're gonna apply a tiny bit of flux, just like that. And we're gonna solder a new chip and see what happens. All right, so we're gonna hold it down in place, apply heat, then we're gonna let go and reflow. All right, the chip made a connection. Let go. Apply just a tiny bit of flux. And then we're gonna reflow. That's it. We do not need to tap because tapping can cause problems. You have a lot of components that are very close to the chip. So we just reflow at a high airspeed and the chip is gonna settle down in place by itself. So before we clean up, before we do anything, let's go ahead and test. And no change. Okay. Now that we got the TriStar chip out of the way and we soldered a new one, the next thing I want to do is check for VCC main. I could have done that before, but I just had to get the TriStar chip out of the way because we do not know how the soldering was on that chip. Let's go ahead and check for VCC short. And we're gonna check for a short at those caps right here. Okay, so we're gonna have our rad probe on ground, and do we have a short? And we do, look at this. We have a short on VCC main. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna inject voltage at VCC main, and then we're gonna monitor the board under the thermal camera and see what gets hot. So we can pinpoint the problematic component. We're gonna switch over to our thermal camera. Let's inject voltage and see what happens. We're gonna inject voltage at VCC. And now we can tell something is getting hot on the top, middle top, where the TriStar chip is, maybe to the left of the TriStar chip. Let me increase voltage a bit, maybe 1.6 volts. And let's see what happens. One more time. So heat is originating from here, from right here. All right, let's put the thermal camera on the side. Right now heat is showing up from right here. We already replaced the TriStar chip, so we're gonna ignore this part. And heat looks like it's being generated from this area. We do not know if it's coming from the chip here or from somewhere else, or it could be coming from back of the board also. We can remove this shield and we can see what's going on under the shield here. We can start by removing this metal frame. We want to see what's under. All right, and let's do this one more time. what I want to do first is I'm going to remove the shield on front of the board. And we're going to monitor back of the board as we currently have it oriented, front of the board, so we can see if we have possibly any shorted caps. We're going to have to remove this shield here. Right now, right off the bat, I see a cap in question. This one right here. And we have some corrosion or rust right here on the coils. Let's measure to see if this capacitor is good. Meter in diode mode. And do we have a short on this cap? And we do not. We do not. Voltage drop is 0.28. 0.28. 0.18. 0.18. So we're going to assume this capacitor is good because it's not reading a short. Let's inject voltage at VCC main again and see what gets hot on this area of the board. Right now we can inject voltage at any one of those caps. We have caps right here. So we can inject voltage here or here or here. And then we can see what gets hot on the side of the board. So let's pick the first cap from the bottom. We're going to inject voltage right over here at this cap. We can just point our probe in the middle because this is connected with this. We're going to inject voltage like this. All right? Let's see. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I'm injecting voltage right here at the bottom cap, and something is getting hot right over here. See? Right over here. We're playing Tom and Jerry here. Mouse and cat. Something is getting hot right over here, so we will need to desolder the shield and see what's going on under. Alright, so the shield is out. And right now it's very possible that one of those two caps are what's causing the short. Let's wait until the board cools down a bit. Maybe we can apply some alcohol to cool it down. And let's see. Go back to our thermal camera. And we're going to inject voltage. See? Right there. So the short is coming from right over here. Right there. That's the bad guy right there. So say hello to the bad guy. All right. Now the question is, do we still have a short? Let's go back right over here and let's measure and see, do we still have a short? If not, then the problem is fixed. Meter in diode mode, and the short is gone. Wow. Wow. We did it. We did it. We started with back of the board, then we went to the front, we desoldered the first shield, the second shield, and we got to the culprit. We got to that bad guy. And now, because I'm very optimistic, let's plug the board inside the customer's phone, just for suspense. And we're going to install the screen. And the screen is connected. And we're going to connect the battery. Plug the charging cable. Charging, yes. Yes. The phone is on. Let's wait and see if it boots up. And we do see the phone is currently at 1.1 amp. And right there. What's the code? I do not know, but is touch working? Yes, touch is perfect. The phone is fixed. And that's it. We're going to end the video right here. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to check out our forum at NorthridgeFix.com. Click on forum, and you can ask your questions there. We have sections for repair questions, tools and equipment, micro soldering, pre-sale service questions, identify a component, general questions, discussions, or looking for work. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again in the next video.